Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another retro gaming review. And now I'm bringing you the Beverly Hills Cop for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. And you can hear a very good 128k rendition of Harold Faltermeyer's Axel F tune, which featured in the 1984 film upon which the game is based. Tynesoft brought out the game, as you can see in the top of that screen there. It came out in 1990. And oh, that really is good. Beverly Hills Cop film was actually quite a big hit and turned its main star Eddie Murphy into a superstar. It wasn't his first film role. That was in 48 Hours a couple of years earlier, but Beverly Hills Cop is the one that really put him on the map, and the film's still pretty fun to watch and is genuinely amusing at times. But it is quite surprising to see that this game came out 6 years later, and Beverly Hills Cop 2 actually came out just 3 years before this game came out. So it is quite surprising that there was such a big gap. Another thing is, it'll be interesting to know how Beverly Hills Cop can realistically translate into a game, considering that at heart the film was actually a comedy. I mean, it had some action set pieces, admittedly, but that wasn't really the main focus of the film. The main focus was, as I just said, comedy. So, without further ado, I guess there's just one way that we're going to find out how well it actually translates into game terms. So you got 5 different areas in the game. Go forward. There's control options. Define keys. Yep. Left, right, up, down, fire. Space to exit. I'm going to try the warehouse first. So that's me in the bottom middle of the screen, and oh dear, this is. So I've got life markers in the game. It's those hearts at the bottom of the screen. I've just lost a life because one of my hearts is entirely drained. Oh crikey, dynamite. Oh goodness me. I haven't really. The controls are a bit weird. I mean, it seems to decide by itself whether or not it makes you crouch like that or whether you just angle your gun downwards. I haven't figured that out, and it doesn't make a. Oh, bloody hell. Let's retry that. What? I shot that guy. What the hell are those circular things? Are people rolling rolls of brie at me or something? But the biggest problem I have with this is this isn't exactly faithful to the film. I don't remember this in the film. I mean, there's a warehouse, but it's not this early on in the film, and they certainly didn't have this kind of nonsense happening. Oh God, I'm nearly dead. God, the controls of this are really inconsistent. I mean, look at this, it's ridiculous. Oh, goodness gracious. retry or reset. So if I press up, I can aim the gun upwards, but it doesn't seem to work. It's not particularly slick, so it's really hard to angle it correctly so you actually hit the enemies that are up above you. See, look, for some reason he just decided to angle his gun downwards rather than duck down, which is what I actually wanted him to do. This is ridiculous. You just get absolutely bombarded with enemies. There are too many enemies in this bit. And you can barely see the bullets because of all the monochrome. Oh God, will you die? Well, how am I going to get past those? So it looks like those are some kind of mine or something, because those things that roll along the ground, because... God, the sound effects are so sparse. I mean, this is 128k Spectrum. I mean, oh, God. Let's try again. Oh, my good gracious me. This is absolutely crap, this part of the game. So you just get absolutely bombarded with enemies, and you can't angle your gun, and Axel can't angle the gun correctly to get them half the time. The controls are just too weird. Oh, I see, those round things that... And why does it give you a choice of either retry or reset? Why can't it just send you back to the main menu so you can pick one of the other options? That's ridiculous. Oh, bloody hell. This is distinctly naff. This control system doesn't work at all, and there are too many enemies. See, look, all I want to do is angle my gun up to get that guy on the boxes, and it's just not... Duck down, you twit! Oh, God. See, now I want to angle the gun down. It's not letting me do it. Oh, that's like... So I actually have to angle it upwards slightly, then angle it downwards. That's ridiculous. Oh, good. Look at this. It's stupid. This control system just doesn't work. Oh, God. I'm not playing that mode anymore. I've had enough of that. I just don't understand why it's giving you a choice of retry or reset. Why can't it be like retry or go back to that menu so you can select another bit? Is that really too much to ask? I mean, depending on how I feel, I may well decide to do separate reviews for the other sections of the game. It just depends on how I feel. I mean, if this is anything to go by, then I'm not that impressed. I mean, you can barely see the bullets. The control system stinks. It's really easy to get absolutely bombarded with enemies and get killed before you have a chance to do anything. Angling Axel's gun is a royal pain in the arse and seems to be incredibly inconsistent. And you can't seem to aim it at a diagonal upwards angle of 45 degrees, which is even more ridiculous, especially as that's quite often a very popular choice of angle when you're trying to hit someone who's kneeling on boxes like those two that you can see right now. If you're not... It's almost like you have to be practically underneath them before you can angle the gun upwards enough to get them. Either that, or you have to be absolutely blooming miles away, so they're practically at the edge of the screen. So, because of the limited number of angles you can aim upwards at, which which again is ridiculous. And it means that you can get very easily picked off by their bullets, which you can barely see because of the Spectrum's usual monochrome issues. I mean, the bullets are just too small. They're literally just like 2 pixels wide by 2 pixels tall, and you can only just see them, especially when they're going across boxes. The graphics are a bit crude as well. Those boxes are okay, but the people, but all the people just look ridiculous. I mean, they didn't even have facial features. It's like they've been. It's like they've dunked themselves in mud and 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 maybe put some clothes on the top of that and put on a false wig or something. I don't know. It's something like that. Either way, it looks ridiculous. So I want, but the biggest problem is this is. Yes, there was a warehouse in the film, but apart from that, this has absolutely no link to the film whatsoever. So I'm I'm going to give this section at least 3 out of 10. It's just not very enjoyable, and the controls stink, and it's far too easy to get absolutely bombarded with enemies and die. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that review. Catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.